Hello, my gorgeous group ones. Welcome to your reading. Today we're going to be getting into, if you can't tell, I'm very excited. Today we're going to be getting into your siren call, okay? So how do you lead men to their doom? How do you get them to follow you to the ends of the earth? Do your bidding, do whatever you want, okay? So sirens, canonically, in folklore and such, are known for leading men specifically to their deaths, okay? So the sirens would be on an island and they would sing and they would tempt and they would call and come hither, these men on boats and ships. And the men would unalive themselves in the process because the island was surrounded by sharp rocks. So essentially they were under a trance, couldn't control themselves, and they would be led to their doom. So because we are now in spooky season, okay, it's about to be October. I'm so excited. Like, this is my element. This is my moment. This is my time, okay, of year. Fall, spooky season, whatever you want to call it. It's finally here. I want to get into a spookier reading. So I want to know what strikes men dumb when it comes to you. Why will they follow you to the ends of the earth? How do you act? What do you do? Whatever. Let's get right into it. That's enough rambling on my part. So, of course, we're going to use the Modern Goddess Tarot. This is the deck that I have at work now. I have a few at work, but this one makes sense. The most sense, honestly. At the bottom, we have the Emperor, and we have the volcano behind the Emperor. So, this is giving, like, I don't know, you can have a little bit of a temper, okay? Or you're fiery and explosive, and that's something that lead men to their doom. Like, they're like, oh my gosh, like, some men like trouble. They like women who are loud and tell them what to do and cuss them out. And it's funny because this is leading me to a trend on social media right now where the men are like, if you see a 5'4" Hispanic, Middle Eastern, whatever woman, like, throwing her chancla at me or cussing at me in Spanish, just know that I'm where I want to be. Don't try to help me. This is where I want to be, okay? So some men like fiery, maybe somewhat aggressive, bossy, women, sassy, right? Angry, whatever you want to call it. That's what they like. The Emperor is definitely someone who's known to take charge, and this is usually attributed, I feel like, to the Queen of Wands. This reminded me of, I believe there's a Queen of Wands card in some deck where there's a volcano, or maybe it's a goddess, Pele. I was seeing in another deck. I think it's like one of the goddesses, Pele. She's like a what do you want to call it? A Pacific Islander, or like Hawaiian god or goddess, I should say. And it's kind of like volcanoes. I heard in another reading, a reader was like, volcanoes aren't always like erupting. They come off as mountains, but within that mountain, there's a bubbling of like lava, and so like your outside can be like a little bit stoic and hard, but then your inside is like molten hot, right? That could be something that leads men to their doom. You could come off as cold sometimes, unmovable, broody, moody, whatever you want to call it, standoffish, and then they know there's like a fire deeper in, they want to know. Or even if they don't know there's a fire deeper in, they want to know what makes you tick, and they want to make you angry, make you pop, or make you explode, or whatever. That's what leads men to their doom, because they are led to their doom trying to get to your molten lava center, okay? If that makes sense. Okay, so you wouldn't know a volcano's a volcano until it erupts, honestly. That's what that's what leads men to their doom with you. They don't know you're a volcano until you erupt. And then when you do, they're kind of like, I might like it here. Yo, why am I hearing the song from Annie? I think I'm gonna like it. Dang right, you're gonna like it here. That song from Annie, that is hilarious. But anyway, they like it there. They're like, I'm where I want to be. Don't try to save me if you see my wife, my girlfriend, whatever, slapping me up, cussing me out. I'm good. I'm fine. Okay? Why am I hearing also, I'm good. Trick or Trey, bottoms up. That song, Nicki Minaj and Trey songs, bottoms up. So of course your bottom could be coming through as well. When you have it in the air. Okay, we're gonna stop. not what I was trying to get into, but when your bottom's up, okay? Face down, booty up, whatever you want to call it, that it could be coming through as well. So, can we finally get some actual cards on the table, please? How do my group ones lead men to their doom? Okay, please, Spirit, give me something. We have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, your fire, your passion, your spunk, all of those things. It gets them standing right at attention, okay? It clouds their function. We have the Crone of Cups, which is the King of Cups. Yeah, there's something here about you coming off as like serene on the outside, but they either know or they have an inkling or they want to know what makes you tick and they want to annoy you. So sometimes you could be a little too calm, you know, a little bit too like things don't really rub you the wrong way, but they like to get on your nerves. This is so ghetto. Get out of my face. That kind of thing, you know what I mean? They kind of want to ruffle your feathers is the kind of energy coming through here because they know there's a passion deep within, but it's hidden by this, nothing bothers me, unbothered, like surface that you guys have going on. Because the King of Cups, he is the master of his emotions. No one is going to get him out of his... And no one's going to make him angry without him allowing them to do so. Like, no one's going to ruffle his feathers, essentially. But there's something here about them liking to ruffle your feathers. Or you could ruffle their men's feathers. That could be a thing coming through as well. Because this is how you lead them to their doom. You make them upset. Like, they could be like a mountain. Even the strongest, God's strongest soldier that has been through so much. Like, when it comes to being around y'all, you make them upset or aroused or something like that, because molten lava doesn't have to be, it is destructive, but if you're looking at it in a way, see, and now that with the Ace of Wands coming out, if you're looking at it as an object that men have, okay, when it gets to the point of no return, it erupts, right? And this is getting too graphic, but you know what I mean, right? This could be a mountain or this could be their wand. Okay, we're going to leave it at that. And you kind of get them to the point where they can't not erupt, you know, that kind of thing. But I'm trying to figure out how you do that. By making them angry, I don't know, maybe they like you or being threatened by you or you threatening them, that kind of thing, you know? Let's see what other cards we have coming out. We have the Six of Wands. Yeah, there is something here about you being bossy. There's a... Ooh, you guys are funny. Maybe you guys are funny in real life, but this reading just has me giggling. So I'm like, what's going on here? Please relax. But it's definitely giving... There could be something here about you give them a safe space to be their kinky selves, if you will. Because the Ace of Wands can definitely represent that as well, I feel like. If the mood is right. So maybe you allow them to be their free selves, right? The Six of Wands is about leadership, but it's also about success. It's also about attention, right? So there's something here about you being very attractive or appealing to wide audiences. So you're attractive to most people, you know? You don't have to be attractive to everybody, but you are conventionally attractive enough that many people are attracted to you. I'm saying attracted too much. So men are very attracted to you if the Ace of Wands wasn't enough. We have two wands coming out, and then we have the cups in the middle of this, the King of Cups, okay? This could be that they have to be the calm-headed one, the level-headed one to your not level-headed one, and that could be something that leads them to their doom. They're kind of like, okay, I can't leave her. I gotta make sure she's good. I gotta take care of her, because King of Cups is a very nurturing kind of energy because it's cups, and cups wants to take care of, cups wants to nurture, cups wants to make sure you're okay. You know what I mean? Wants to hug you, wants to kiss up on you, and just make sure nurture. Honestly, that's the perfect word. All those things fall under the jurisdiction of nurture, right? And that's something you bring out in them. So maybe they like to be the calm to your storm. That's something they like. Like I said, there's a lot of men who want the girl who's going to be at dinner and say, he didn't want this, he wanted this. Because they can't do it themselves. They like someone who's going to take charge and do certain things. So you guys are attracting like level-headed men with the King of Cups coming through here to your more like explosive, like vibrant, bossy personality, even dominant for some of you, you know? Okay, very interesting. So your siren call is like being a boss. Okay, getting them aroused by maybe telling them what to do or making them feel calm. Maybe they like being your safe space as well. That could be something coming through too. Okay, let's keep going. There is something here about your eyes. They could be like very, I don't want to say squinty. Siren. You could have siren eyes, okay, for my group ones coming through. And just the way you look at them, right? Your smile is coming through as well. So your eyes and your smile, the way you use both together is what leads men to their doom. Okay. What else do we have coming through? We have the sun. Oh, this is beautiful. I haven't gotten the sun in this deck yet. I don't think I have. Look at how she's standing out. Like she can't blend in. She's literally sparkling. And then we have the hangman. These are two very distinct opposite energies. It's very interesting that they're coming out together. Okay. So we have the King of Cups, which is calm. Okay. Immovable. An island in the middle of the ocean. The funny things about islands are they're completely surrounded by water, yet still standing most of the time. So the way you're solid or stable, okay, or the way you get them solid and stable. I'm done, I promise, I'm done. Okay, but there's like a very inherent masculine vibe coming through from this reading. So when you're in your masculine or go-getter, ambitious, nothing can hold me back, Six of Wands kind of energy with the sun, these are very similar vibes of I'm going to do whatever it takes to get what I want, right? And that's something that kind of leads them to their doom because they're willing to follow you anywhere because you're the leading at this point, you know? And then we have the hangman. So I guess the fact that you get to be like the loud out there kind of one, and they kind of get to hang back because the King of Cups and the hangman can be the same vibe, right? They're both water signs, right? The King of Cups is a more scorpionic, so they get to be the brooding one to your outgoing one. They get to be the quiet one to your loud one. That's something they appreciate, you know what I mean? They get to follow behind you and be your antics and bask in your glow, and they get to be a part of it, but they don't have to be acting crazy themselves, if that makes sense, you know? We all have that one friend or one person we can live vicariously through when they're like the center of attention and they're working the room, they're speaking to people, they're entertaining. Like that's why we go to shows, right? That's why we go to movies, to kind of get us out of our head, get us out of our shell, all these kinds of things. We go to plays and movies and concerts to watch someone else entertain us for a little bit. You're that entertainer to these men, and that's why they're willing to follow you anywhere. You know that feeling of like having a favorite artist or a celebrity crush. You're willing to do things for them that you wouldn't do for normal people in your life. And it's because of I don't know the science behind parasocial relationships, but you don't know this person, you never met them, but you have this deep devotion and like intense emotion for these people that you've never met and most likely never will meet, right? But it's the being close to greatness kind of energy. The sun, I feel like in the Six of Wands is someone who just naturally attracts success, you know, abundance, attention, and this person likes to be the one behind the scenes of that. You get to be out there putting on a show, and they get to be the person you kind of come home to, which is something that I wanted to say earlier if I didn't say it already. They like to be the person you come home to. They like to hear about all your antics and live vicariously through you because they may not be able to do that themselves, or they don't want to. They would rather watch you do it or live it, essentially. The hangman is like, yeah, they get to cool and hang back and chill and not have to be a part of any chaotic environments or situations and just hear about it through you. Or they get to, like I said, live vicariously through you if they can't be that way. They can't be outgoing like you are. They get to be at your side, your lover, your partner, whatever, your friend, as you do these crazy things that they would never be able to do, you know? And that's like enough for them sometimes, or all the time, who knows? The hangman is very much like fantasy. I would feel like. So maybe you kind of fulfill their fantasies. And that's kind of what I was talking about. The fact that we have the Ace of Wands here and the Hangman is like right here next to it as well. It's giving you fulfill their fantasies, right? Or you're their fantasy come to life, if you will. Okay. Let's get some more cards here. Already 15 minutes in. Louise, jeez. Maybe you like do things differently than everybody else. Because I just said Louise, jeez. And it's jeez Louise, you know? So because you do things backwards, you do it your own way. That's how you lead men to their doom. Like before you know it, it's like what people say, you laugh them right out of their drawers. They're kind of like, wait, when did we get here? They don't even know it, because before you know it, the drawers is off. Okay, the wham bam, thank you ma'am has been done. And they're waking up the next day like, huh, what happened? I didn't drink. I didn't do anything. How did I end up here? And they just remember like deep belly laughs. They remember just like basking in your light and like literally being under your trance and following you anywhere. And they're kind of like, yep, I'm happy here. Whether she's cussing me out or beating me up, whatever you want to call it, I'm where I want to be. Okay, don't try to help me. Don't try to save me. He don't want to be saved. Don't save him. Okay? She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. Here we have the Queen of Swords. So you could be a little mean, a little testy, if you will. You know, I'm hearing a smart mouth. That's very funny. The Queen of Swords is a smart mouth, honestly. She is very blunt, very straightforward, very sharp in her words sometimes. So yeah, there's a little bit of meanness or attitude to you that they kind of like, okay? This is funny. Like they're attracted to your sour, not your sweet. It's what's coming through here. Your fire, your spicy, not your mild, right? Lord, why did that? And then we have the Three of Swords. Yeah, you put them under, you stress them out, y'all. That's all I can say to you, for y'all. You stress them out. You put them under duress. And they're kind of like, how did I get myself into this mess? But they're not leaving. They're still there, honey buns. They're still there riding for you. This is so funny. Men are funny. And then we have the Four of Wands. Yeah, it's giving that balance. You're the yin to their yang. So they may be more like chill, more feminine, you know, not in like, oh, they're feminine, like female. No, it's like they can be more quiet, more shy. They don't talk as much. They're more passive, you know. It's kind of like giving recessive versus dominant genes. It's kind of giving, if you were to have kids with them, the kids would be like you, or you're the brunette hair to their blonde, or what's the recessive gene? Red, ginger, whatever you want to call it. You're the black and brown to their blonde and red. So they like being recessive. Like, you know, every once in a while they may come out of their shell. They may create kids that are blonde or, you know, ginger. But most of the time, most people in the world have darker hair, right? So it's kind of giving that. You're the more dominant to their recessive, and they are okay with that. Okay, and I love how I'm saying recessive and not submissive, because this person or these men don't have to be like submissive, but the better way, or another way to explain it, is that you're the dominant gene as opposed to their recessive gene. Okay, but anyway, the Four of Wands is, like I said, two swords over here, two swords over here. You balance each other out. So, you know, that's what I'm getting here. You guys are very funny. So they're chill, and you're the opposite of chill. You can be very high strung, very loud. Like I said, you like to be the center of attention, like things to go your way, right? Don't mind me. This is also kind of giving marriage material, or they just have fun with you, because the Four of Wands represents marriage, but it also represents having fun with someone, you know, being surrounded by like a soul family or soul tribe of sorts, you know what I mean? Someone that makes you feel good all the time. So that with the sun kind of makes a lot of sense to me. So you're the feel-good hormone. What is a feel-good hormone? Is it endorphins or something? It's one of them. The love hormone is oxytocin. And it's a dopamine, that feel-good hormone. You get them like high on dopamine, right? is kind of like the energy we get, you know. Yeah, you're full of life and energy, honestly, because, you know, when you're in the sun gives you the vitamin D, the sun gives you energy. The sun also drains you of energy. Have you ever been outside in the sun all day and you come home and you're just tired? The sun gives energy, but it also takes a lot to be around, you know what I mean? A very high vibing kind of person. So that's kind of like how you lead them to their doom. Before they know it, they're following you anywhere, and they're kind of like, how? It's because they, for some of them, they didn't have a choice, okay? Or for others of them, they're right where they want to be, and they want to be led by you, right? Not even led. You have all the good ideas, you make things fun, you keep things exciting, and that's something that they want to keep experiencing. You know what I mean? Just because they may be more reserved, quiet, or shy doesn't mean they don't want to experience fun, you know? So you always have the fun ideas of where to go, where to eat, that kind of thing, and they don't really have to do much, you just gotta follow you. And that's something that they appreciate, okay? Your take charge in HR. So let's get some cards here. We're going to pull from, you could be very funny. So at the bottom of the deck, before I shuffle properly, we have jokes on you. So you laugh them right out their drawers. Group 1, please, Spirit. Group 1. So yeah, backwards is forwards came out for you guys. So it's definitely giving certain things they expect from a woman you don't really, or I shouldn't even say woman, certain things. I know mostly women watch my readings, which is why I'm saying that, but what they expect from, I guess, your gender, we could leave it at that, is not how you are. So traditionally, men are supposed to be more take charge, more dominant, more go with the flow, leading the family, leading the household, whatever. And instead of, okay, so basically, if you're a guy, you do the opposite of that. You're more passive. If you're a woman, you're more dominant, you know? I'm trying to come up with a word. Like, there's passive and there's aggressive, you know? We can leave it at that too. If they're more passive, you're more aggressive, and that's not something they usually expect, even though there are women who are, you know, more passionate and aggressive, you know? Okay, so we have divine feminine. Look at that. So even though you are more dominant, even though you are more masculine in your energy, it's definitely something that doesn't really deter them from being physically attracted to you. Especially if you, okay, so how do I put this? Because I have men watching from men sometimes too. So that could be a vibe coming through where you're the opposite of what they expect. Maybe you look very feminine, but you're very aggressive. Maybe you look very masculine, but you're very soft-spoken. You know what I mean? That's the kind of like opposition that I'm speaking about. Okay, you look like a wallflower with glasses, but as soon as you open your mouth, you're cussing people out. It's giving fun-sized, but not fun-sized attitude or demeanor. That kind of thing. I'm trying to find a better way to explain it, okay? So basically with you, backwards is forward. So things that are supposed to usually go or make sense don't make sense, if that makes sense. Don't mind me. Okay, and then here we have overflowing wealth, okay? So you're definitely someone who is giving like goddess. You're giving a high value person. You're giving a successful person. You're giving people who follow you anywhere. That's the kind of leader energy you kind of carry or embody, I guess we can say. And you stress them out. I can't stress that enough. You stress these men out. And that's something, like, from what I've heard, like when you, is it something about vasopressin? That's the stress hormone for men or people in general, who knows? When you kind of raise that and make them have to work for things and want to do things for you, it builds, like, it makes them more attached to you. So when you stress these men out, they become more attached to you, is what I've heard. You know, so that could be coming through. And then we have gold at the end of the rainbow. So the gold at the end of the rainbow is something that is like a fairy tale or a fantasy, right? But it's something they found in you, right? Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that and get the actual mermaid deck, because we are talking about Siren, so it would be remiss for me not to use it, okay? Let me get some cards here. Look, we have bountiful harvest. Bountiful. This is giving me, like, I don't know, not thick, but womanly. Or you have like a lot of physical traits that they enjoy on a body. Whatever your body looks like, whether you're feminine or masculine, female, male, non-binary, there's something here about your body being T, okay? To these men or women out here, whoever, I mean, this is about men, so to these men out here, okay? And the apple, you see how the apple's representing temptation? In the Bible, the apple represents temptation. That's kind of what I'm getting for you guys as well. And they just like looking at you. Look at how intently he's gazing upon this apple. Like, yes, this is the one I want, right? So it's kind of like you're giving them a full meal, if you will, if that makes sense. It's kind of giving me in a way where it's like you stimulate their mind, their body, and their emotions. That kind of like a full course meal where you leave completely replete, satisfied. There's nothing that you're wanting for, or longing for, or wondering about, or jonesing after. You know, some people who be out here jonesing for other relationships or other people are missing something within themselves. You know what I mean? But I feel like with you, this person feels like completely, there's nothing they could want more. Which is that hangman energy. They like to hang back and like just be in your energy, be a part of your world. Essentially, it's giving Ariel. She was so fiending to be on Earth or on land. You know, she wanted to be a part of his world, and she did whatever she used to do to make that happen. And it's funny how in the movie she also loses her voice. And I was talking about this person like being the chill one to your crazy, or being the quiet to your loud, being the listener to your talker. You know, you can be a little bit of a yapper. And here we have celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. And this came through in Four of Wands. So there's something here about you being a joy. You're a joy to be around. And as we see, the hands are up and the sun is the focal point of the card, right? And it's kind of giving how she's literally coming out of the water celebrating something, and the sun just happens to be beaming down right on her. So you're definitely giving vital, you're giving lively, like I said, spitfire. You could be cussing them out. You put them under stress, like you make them want to be better or something, you know? It's kind of like I said, those men at the beginning of the reading, I'm where I want to be. Don't worry about me. If I'm getting cussed out, whatever, I'm right. Don't worry about me, okay? That's the kind of energy coming through for you guys, okay? It's kind of like I have my gold at the end of the rainbow in the form of my group ones, and that's just about it, okay? You give them all they could acquire, all they could want. Okay, so I think that's all that I have for you guys. I'm going to leave you a reading right here. I hope it resonated. If it did, feel free to like. I'm also here. There's something plump about you, because I just keep hearing apple bottom jeans, okay? So, and boots with the fur child. And the whole club was looking at her. That's what I'm getting with the whole Six of Wands vibe. Like, all eyes are on you, but you may only have eyes for them. And that is a very intoxicating feeling. The person that everybody else wants, just wanting one person, that person being them in this instance, right? A volcano. You don't know there's molten lava and how explosive they are. So maybe there could be something about you being very explosive, like I said, kinky, fiery in the bedroom, right? And no one else knows that, because on the surface you give like, you know what I mean? You give stoic, you give Queen of Swords on the surface, you know? Lady in the streets, but a freak in the streets kind of vibe, where it's like, okay, I'm a lady, okay? I'm gonna have my pinky up, I'm gonna eat properly, you know? That kind of thing. But then they know the fire that's like boiling but underneath, you know, whether it's like a temper or something, a passion, your desire for them. Sure. Anywho, maybe that could be something coming through as well. The way you desire them, the way you make them feel special, important. That could be something that leads these men to their, it's like, you know, when you're in the sun and when the sun is shining down on you, there's no one else that matters, or nothing else that matters. So you either make them feel that way or they feel that way about you, right? Make it fit where it's supposed to fit. But anyway, I hope the reading resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading, you could always use my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group twos. Welcome to your reading. Today, we're going to be getting into what is your siren call? Okay, how do you lead men to their doom? Okay, because we're getting into spooky season. I kind of want to give a spooky vibe to my already, not spooky readings, but you know, the readings that I usually do about how men feel, whatever, all that kind of stuff. I want to put a spooky vibe to it. So what is it about you that lead men to their doom, essentially? Okay, so let's get into the reading. Okay, so like I said, in group one, sirens, for those who don't know, are creatures that look like mermaids but are not mermaids. And they are known mythologically to live on an island, right? And their call, their voice, their song kind of brings or lures men in, but the men can never reach the siren because the island that they, you know, inhabit is surrounded by a bunch of spiky rocks, right? So before they can even get to the person who's singing the song, they drown or something. I don't even know if sirens are known for ripping them apart or stealing their soul. What is it? Because I was watching an episode of Supernatural the other day, and sirens are naturally ugly, right? They're not cute at all. The way mermaids are pretty, sirens are not, okay? But the person in the episode, right? She would embody men and women, right? Oh, ghetto. And she would like suck up their soul, and like there's something about them like being fully devoted to her and listening to her, and or the whatever she is, if it's a girl or a woman or a man, I don't know. She would make them unalive their partners. Okay, the person that they were loyal to the most in the world, whether it was a brother, a father, a mistress, a wife, whatever, a child. She didn't do all that in the show, but you know what I mean. She would like, because the episode began with men unaliving their wives in the town, and Dean and Sam was like, what's going on here? And they figured out that it was a siren who was like putting these thoughts in the men's head, right? Because it would make her happy. And I'm just like, what kind of sorcery is this? But that's kind of the energy coming through here. Why are men willing to do anything? Okay, just to, you know, be around you. What's your siren call? So that's enough chatter. Let's get into it. Naturally, I'm using the Modern Goddess Tarot because, yeah. So for my group twos, please, Spirit, what is it about my group twos that lure men to their doom? What is it about them? What they do? Please, Spirit, for my group twos. What is it about them? I'm hearing for you, it could be your voice. You could have like a very like sexy or sultry or raspy or soft or seductive voice. And as soon as I say that, what is she doing in the freaking card? Talking. Yeah. It's the power of your voice. It's the fact that you speak up. For people, that could be something coming through. You speak up for other people. You fight for justice. That could be something coming through as well. Okay, so the first card that fell out is the Page of Swords, which is also about speaking. It's also about learning. It's also about taking in information. So you can be someone who's very smart and you teach others by using your voice. And that's very sexy, the knowledge that you have, okay? And the knowledge that you continuously like look for. I'm trying to find the right word. And the knowledge that you like, you know, just look after. That's not the way I want to say it. How annoying. The knowledge you seek, okay? You're giving ninth house energy. You want to seek higher knowledge, higher education. So you could be someone who has multiple degrees or someone who has one degree, or you're known for like being very smart, very witty, you know, you challenge people, you like to debate, go back and forth, you know, that kind of thing. Okay. And when you never miss, like there's something about you always being right, because the Page of Swords is kind of giving me like when you shoot your shot, you don't miss, you hit right in the middle of the target. So you could have good aim with your insults, with your compliments. You could be someone very complimentary as well, because using your voice is many different, you know, you can use your voice for many different things, to be seductive, to be informative, that's the better way to say it, or to be I guess, derogatory and mean. You can use your voice in any way, or to uplift as well. You know what I mean? Okay, so this is giving when you shoot, you never miss. So whether you're trying to purposely make someone upset and sad or make them happy. So maybe like your words of affirmation, the way you build people up, that kind of thing. Okay. You could also be good with like, not weapons, but weapons, you know, swords and almost said feathers. A feather is not a weapon. Okay, a bow and arrow, right? A sword, whatever you want to call it. You can be really good at sports and stuff like that, right? Or I'm hearing extreme sports where you use things that are dangerous, but you make it a sport. Okay, so judgment did come through already as you having a voice and standing up for people, okay? This is a very Angela Davis-esque figure in this card here, okay? The fact that you have discernment and you have good judgment, okay? That's also something that's coming through. There's something here about your intuition or you being able to read people really well, okay? So if you tell your friend that person ain't ish, and your friend don't listen, you always end up being right. And that's what I was saying, what you never miss, whether it's an opinion, whether it's something you're saying. Like when you say something is so, it is. You know, if you say that person ain't ish, they're not. If you say that person's nice, they are. That kind of thing. You have like a really good intuition. A scary intuition. You're also good at giving advice. That could be something that lead men to their doom because they always find themselves needing something from you. Whether they need your advice, they need you in the biblical sense of the word. They just want to talk to you or hear you talk. If you have that nice voice, there's just something about them always going to come to you for advice or things, you know? So I feel like where other people, I don't know how to explain it. I don't think you have to chase behind men. There's always something about them needing you for something rather than you needing them. That could be something coming through. So the reason that you lead them to their doom is because they essentially need you. Like, they need you and they can't live without you. And if that means following you to the ends of the earth, then so be it. You know? So there's nothing here like overtly seductive about you, maybe besides your voice, but it's kind of giving the advice you give, the words you speak into them, you breathe life into them, your discernment, you know what I mean? Your BS meter, that kind of thing is coming through as well. Your perception, how you see the world and how you view things, the fact that you stick up for the underdog and you defend people, that kind of thing is kind of like you're the person they want to be by. They want you lay your side. Okay, so judgment, you have good judgment. Then we have the Three of Pentacles. So there is something here about like work, building, being very smart, good with your hands, right? That's what I'm getting. That's what I meant by the whole good with. You could be good with weapons, but you could also be good with your hands, period. At making things, okay? Handling them. Let me stop. This is not supposed to get 18 plus at all, okay? But the way you handle them, you could be, you know what I mean? This is, or you know what I want to say? This is giving reading their mind. Where it's like they are, like you guys can be in the throes of passion, okay? For example. And they're like, I really want her to touch me like this. And then you do, and they're kind of like, gasp. In a good way, and like a, oh, how did you know kind of way as well. And it's like, how did you, there's something here about you being really good at like reading the room, reading their reactions, reading their mind, you know, that kind of thing. You know things about them or what to do or what to say without them having to tell you. Yeah. So it's kind of like giving a mother's intuition, how a mother has to literally listen and watch her child when it's first born because babies can't talk. And especially if you're a first-time mom, you really don't know the cues. You don't know what kind of cry that is. There's some mothers who can be like, that's my baby's hungry cry. That's my baby's, they took a dookie cry. I have to change them. That's their tired cry. That's their bored cry, you know? That's their foot is itchy cry. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's how you are towards men. They're kind of like, not saying you mother them, but it's like you have that intuition when it comes to people in general. So when they need a specific word, you know what to say. When they need a specific food, you know how to make it, that kind of thing. You know, you could be good with your hands and know how to cook as well. That could be coming through too. Okay, but Three of Pentacles is working well with others. That's the kind of energy that the Three of Pentacles gives me anyway. It's the card of teamwork makes the dream work. What is that? I just saw people walking somewhere. That was creepy. Interesting. You can be like, not omnipresent, but it feels like you know everything about them. And that's kind of scary. So they could be too scared to leave, child. They're like, she knows everything about me. She knows what I'm going to do before I do it. You know? Okay, so let's get this last card out and see what this is. This is the Two of Cups. Aw. So you make them feel seen. You make them feel cherished. Is that the tree or people walking? Don't do that. Maybe you make them see things, apparitions. They could think you have magic. And you make them feel this kind of way, but it really is just you. It's not something anything you do, even though it is. So how can I explain it? You're not working anything on them. You're not putting work on them. It's just how you just that naturally show up and present yourself to the world. That's very intriguing to this person. How you're able to, so there is somebody up there. I hear them. Yeah, look at me like I know somebody's there. You know? This is very interesting. Yeah, like you just know stuff, you feel stuff, you see stuff. You could be someone who like is gifted with all the clairs, you know, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, all that kind of stuff, that kind of thing. You're very in tune with the world around you, okay? And that's what makes you such a good advocate, or makes you so good at caring for people in general. You know what I mean? So the Two of Cups is definitely a romantic, strong bond, like a strong emotional bond is why you lead men to their death, because it like, I don't know, it's kind of giving yeah, they feel safe around you, but that's like not how I want to explain it. Like I'm hearing I'm Rihanna's only girl in the world. So there could be something about you making them feel like the only person in the world. You know, that's that Two of Wands, one-on-one. You guys are the only people on this little date here. And you're enjoying yourselves, and this person feels seen by you and like mirrored by you. Maybe they see a lot of themselves in you. That could be something coming through as well, because they're very much doing like everything is mirrored in this image besides themselves, right? They don't have the same hair color, skin color. They're not wearing the same clothes, but there's something here about mirroring somebody you really like. You know what I mean? Or someone you really respect is something. So the fact that what would lead these men to their doom is the fact that they respect you and will follow you anywhere because they trust you explicitly. Okay, that's kind of what's coming through. Three of Pentacles is kind of like, before you are any kind of lover, you're like a friend, a confidant. That could be something as well. The Two of Cups does kind of give confidant energy. Like we're having a drink and I'm telling you all my deepest, darkest secrets, and you're promising not to tell anyone. Yeah. Maybe you could be someone who people follow behind. You could have a lot of followers as well. Because I'm just now noticing in the back of this card, there's a lot of people following behind her. But she's definitely giving a speech, or she's at a rally or something. And she's the one in all color, and everyone else is kind of like fading into the background. So maybe the fact that you stand out in a crowd could be a thing. Your voice stands out in a crowd. There's something about you that stood out to this person. Especially, or maybe in like a group setting. In a group setting, you're the one that stands out. I'm hearing small but mighty for some of you. Let's keep getting cards for you guys. That was fast. We have Four of Pentacles. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. And then we have the Empress. Yeah. How do you lead men to their call? That's what I was saying about you being everything that they need, I feel like, or giving them everything that they need, because that's what a mother does when babies can't talk. You have to kind of like anticipate their needs, and that's something you're very good at doing, anticipating these men's needs and making them feel cherished. We have 9 of Swords. Something about, there's something here about you soothing them. It's giving mother. I don't know what else to say, child. I'm trying not to say it, but it keeps coming through in some way, shape, or form, right? You make them feel giddy like a kid again, and you're the mother nurturing them. That's like what leads men to their doom when it comes to you. Maybe you overly mother them. Maybe you care too much. Maybe you enable them. There could be a lot of different things here. You know, everything's not going to resonate for everyone, but it could be that. It could be you simply take care of them and they take care of you in other ways. You know, you never know. When it comes to readings like these, don't take it too seriously. It's supposed to be fun, okay? We have 4 of Pentacles. Maybe you teach them how to be more, like, stable. Because 4s in the tarot, no matter what suit they're in, represents stability, okay? In the Pentacles suit, it definitely represents financial stability. So you can be financially stable, or you make them feel financially stable. Maybe you talk them about cryptocurrency and stocks and investments and all that kind of stuff. And now they know how to make more money because you're helping them their money. And it's kind of like, I feel like men, more than anything else, they're not driven mostly by money, because I feel like most men could be driven by SEX as well. But I feel like when it comes to certain things, like I said, any answer they have or any question they have, you have the answer to. How to make more money, you know the answer. You know what I mean? It's like you're a walking encyclopedia for whatever reason. And whether this is like actual concrete knowledge or like just you intuitively giving them an answer and it always being right, that's kind of like, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be too technical. Judgment, there's something here about your inner calling. So like I said earlier, I feel like I already mentioned it, but something about the path you're on and what you're doing with your life is very attractive to the men out here. And they're willing to, like, I guess, follow you to the ends of the earth because of that. There is something here about a leader, a nurturer, a caretaker, someone who is broadcasting the news, keeping everyone informed. You know what I mean? It's kind of like giving how in school professors have office hours. If you ever want to come and ask them questions, you can do that during their office hours outside of class. You're that person that's giving the community or this person office hours. Whereas you already put in so much time in the classroom, you're still giving them like extra time. So you could be very doting, very attentive is the word I was looking for. Like I said, you're good at anticipating their needs because you see everything and know what's going to happen before it happens or what they need before they need it, okay? And especially when it comes to the bedroom, that's something that they appreciate. I'm telling you. Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, there's something fated about them meeting you, I guess you could say. So it's giving soulmates. It is giving destined to meet. For some of you, it could be giving twin flames as well. Okay, there's like a very intense, emotional, or just an intense connection period between the two of you. But the Two of Cups showing up here, there's a camaraderie, there's a friendship, but there's also a deep emotional bond that you create with men, even if it is just friendship. Interesting. So I feel like even if you're not giving men anything like physically, they would still follow you to the ends of the earth because there's just something that's that siren in you. You have the answers. You're the person that's supposed to lead. We're supposed to follow you. You have what we need in the answers, essentially. Okay. The Empress energy is Taurus and Venusian, so you could be very attractive, okay? And the Empress is someone who's naturally gifted. They don't really have to do much to get much, so like naturally abundant as well. The Empress is also very magnetic and attractive in the way that she gets things without having to do much. See, I knew there was people outside that was a bucket. There's people outside working construction. I'm like, I know I'm hearing stuff. And I was right, wasn't I? Exactly, yeah. That's it, you're always right. And I don't know why I'm whispering. You guys gotta have like a soft voice or like a raspy voice. I feel like my voice is getting a little raspy now that I'm talking. yeah. Ew, I just heard something. The way you, ooh, please. I can't. You see, this is why I can't do grown readings on YouTube, because I hate getting the visuals. Okay, so there's something about you sighing. So like in the bedroom, for you, those of you who want that, the way you like sigh and release breath, and like of course the moans and the groans, whatever you want to call it, that like really gets them going. Okay, you're responsive is what I just heard. Okay, good day. We're stopping right there, right? There is also something here about you like being down with the, what do they call it? The SHITS. You're down for certain things. You're down ASS person. You know what I mean? If we're going here, where are we going? Let's go. You know what I mean? If they want to try something new and explore something in the bedroom, we're kind of like, okay, what's up? What we doing here? You know what I mean? That kind of open-minded kind of person. You don't judge people, even though we have the judgment. You have good judgment, but you may not be a judgy person. You know what I mean? If they want to try certain things, you're like, okay, let's try certain things. You know what I mean? You're not a prude, if that makes sense. And then we have the Nine of Swords here, which is the overthinking card. You think too much, or they just can't stop thinking about you. There's just something, consuming, all encompassing about you, your energy, and just who you are as a person. I feel like it's just who you are as a person that makes you like a just all around siren. You know what I mean? And it's nothing like overtly sexual or anything like that. It's just who you are, what you stand for, what you believe in, the fact that you help people, you have the answers. It seems you're not afraid to like open yourself up to different kinds of perspectives and thoughts. And even disagreements. You're not afraid to debate with someone. If you disagree with me, tell me why, and let's talk about it. You're not getting defensive or putting up your walls. You're just gonna be like very mature, very wholesome, very well-rounded. Just a good person all around, you know? I'm getting in high school, you would have been given the superlative of just someone who's just going to be successful. People don't know how, people don't know why, but the future president of the United States is what I'm hearing. Or like humanitarianism is really important to you as well. Helping people, giving back. But this, how do you lead men to their doom? They can't stop thinking about you. Whether it's platonic or romantic, it doesn't matter. There's something you did, some way you helped them, some way you changed them, some way you fixed them, that you kind of cross their mind quite often. You're the person that comes into someone's life and changes it forever. And even 5 years down the line, this man is thinking about what you did for him, how you helped him, how you changed him, how you made him want to be better. But sometimes the Nine of Swords can mean being up all night just thinking about this one person, right? Take it as it resonates. I'm hearing You're Always on My Mind. That song is coming through. So let's keep going for my group. Twos, please, Spirit. What is their specific siren call? How do they lead men to their doom? Here we have King. Okay, yeah, that's that, natural leadership tendencies that you have. How people flock to you or people look to you for like advice or instructions, what to do. You have like a presence to you with the Empress and the King coming through, and Judgment as well. Maybe there's something here about you being like an angel on Earth. Earth angel could be coming through as well. And those people naturally attract people to them. Okay, and here we have Mind Your Own. So maybe the fact you mind your own business, that's funny. Mind your own. Whatever do you mean? Or this could also mean you are really like I said, dedicated to the people who are you consider your people. Mind your own. You mind your own. You know. You pour in a lot to the people around you. You're outspoken because we have say it loud and proud. You're loud and proud about who you are. Some of you could be LGBTQ plus. I'm kind of getting that vibe from this group a little bit, more so than the other group 1. So that's what's coming through as well. You're not afraid to be yourself and stand out. Okay, you're giving Aquarius vibes, right? Okay, Here we have naughty, naughty. Yep, that's what I'm getting. Like whatever they want to try in the bedroom, you're like, okay, let's go. But what are we doing next, right? You're very adventurous. I'm hearing the world is your playground. So you're very playful as well. Very good at school, at like technical things, building things, instructions. You know what I just heard? You're good at following instructions. Oh, please stop it. So you guys are giving a little bit more of like a submissive or go with the flow. I'm down for almost anything kind of vibe. And, you know, they appreciate that. Yeah, I'm hearing Simon Says. So I feel like in, you know, real life, you could be someone who's like quite commanding, very much in charge, or people like you lead people defer to you, whatever you want to call it. But then when it comes to the bedroom activities, it's kind of like the opposite. And like nobody's saying you like it's giving slave master. No, it's not giving that. It's giving you're open to trying different things. It doesn't have to be dynamic. It doesn't have to be just one thing. It could be a bunch of different things. And it depends on the day. But you allow them to kind of like sow their wild oats. It's giving filthy, dirty, nasty stuff. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm getting visuals again. I don't like that. Next, here we have Ring Around the Fairies. Yeah, you're a good time. You're very playful. There's something a little bit cutesy about you, I feel like. Or just girlish or boyish is kind of what I'm getting. I'm getting like a little bit fairy. You guys are getting short because that's what I was kind of getting with the Page of Swords here. You guys are small but mighty. You guys can be small and cutesy and fun size, but not when it comes to certain things. It's kind of giving the cutest little woman you've ever seen in your life, but she's filthy and nasty when it comes to other things, okay? Let's get these last cards out before I end the reading. Please, Spirit, from my group 2. What is their specific siren call? How do they lead men to their doom, please? Their specific siren call for my group 2. Give me something. This is the actual mermaid deck, so you better be juicy. We have Bountiful Harvest. See, I was getting a little bit of group 1 for you guys. Some of you could be from group 1. There was a vibe that was a little similar to group 1. So some of you could have felt called to both. You feel free to go watch group 1. I'm just hearing confidant kind of energy for you guys. Here we have ancestral roots, so spiritual vibe to you as well. That's all that that's what's coming through. Yeah, this is just confirming a few things for me. You have a very spiritual undertone to you guys that make you kind of seem otherworldly. And then we have temptation. I was waiting. I knew this card was going to come out. I knew it. We have temptation, so you're very tempting as well when it comes to certain things, right? Whoo, pie. Okay, we have the shapeshifter. So the fact that you're able to be multiple things, which is probably why you were called to group 1 and group 2. Then we have inner child, which makes sense because we have the Ring Around the Fairies, playful, just chill, very open, very bubbly, giggly is kind of what I'm getting as well. Fun, overall fun vibes. And then we have Pearl of Wisdom, which are also very wise. So you're able to be that grown woman energy or grown man energy, but also able to be that, like I said, cutesy, boyish, girlish kind of vibe as well, right? So you're very sharp and in tune. And whatever you're doing, you give it your all, whether it's you are in the moment and being very, you know, childish, or being the complete opposite and giving the most sage and wise advice someone has ever heard before. You're giving a little bit of both. And that's something that's very intoxicating when you get 2 sides of the same coin with someone. And then here we have Mother Nature. That's that Empress energy coming through here. I was going to say High Priest as well. So you guys are giving High Priestess, Empress, Mother Nature, stuff like that. There's something here about deep, deep, deep emotional bonds. People want to cling to you and never let go, because that's how safe you make them feel. You get to be a mother figure to them, but you also get to be someone who they get to explore, you know, sensual and playful and fun things with. The best of both worlds, honestly, okay? So I'm going to leave you reading right here. I hope it resonated. Some of you can have a natural blush to your cheeks. Your nose is coming through, so you can have a cute button nose or not, okay? Some of you who are male, like your beard is coming through. your arms, your forearms, specifically the veins is coming through. Some of you could have tattoos and that's very sexy as well. Your hair is also very attractive. That's what I'm getting. Your style, the way you dress is also very attractive. You are very spunky, quirky out there, just yourself. And it's very different and very refreshing for these men out here, okay? Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to leave you right here. I hope it resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe we love to have. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. But I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Hello, my gorgeous group threes. Welcome to your reading. Today, we're going to be getting into what is your siren call? What specifically about you make men want to go to their doom, okay? So as we all know, and if you don't, listen closely, sirens are known mythologically as creatures, things that live on islands, okay? Surrounded by jagged rocks that use their voice, their song to lure sailors, mostly men, to their doom. Now, of course, the men thinking they're gonna see this beautiful, gorgeous creature, and they see these jagged rocks instead. Because they're under this spell, they can't physically stop themselves from crashing into the jagged, rocky edges, and they're led to their doom, unfortunately. So that is what a siren is, okay? In the mythos, I guess, communities. And I guess in real life, a siren is someone who makes you lose your inhibition, someone who makes you just jump right on in without thinking or using logic. So we're going to try to get into what about you makes men want to, like, I guess, go to their doom. Why are you leading men to their doom, okay? So someone wants to make this about their person or other people, non-binary women, go ahead, but just know that I'm focusing on men because I mostly read for heterosexual women, okay? But this could just be about anybody, right? But I know mostly women watch my readings, so they would want to know about men. So let's get into it. For those of you who, like I said, don't like men, make this about somebody else. Okay, so let's get into it. Group 3. Please, Spirit, you tap me into their energy. Oh, because you walk away. You're hard ones to pin down, guys. Immediately, I saw the 8 of Wands. Because they're chasing behind you and because you don't need them. Because you're fast or quick, you run away from them, or you're always like focused on your own thing. The 8s in the tarot mostly kind of represent like abundance, or it represents like moving on to better things. You know what I mean? Because the 9s all represent like stability of some kind. You know what I mean? Besides, I would say the 9 of Swords and the 9 of Wands, but 9 in general means you're almost towards the end of something. You're reaching a conclusion, a finale. 8 is there's still something to be desired. But especially in this 8 of Cups coming through here, there is still much to be desired when it comes to you, Group 3. Men want to know more, get closer, you know, just really pull back the shade or whatever you have blocking them from seeing the real you or being close to you. They want to tear down barriers. You know what I mean? They want to, like, literally the 8 of Wands is someone who is chasing, or literally, like, you know, I'm hearing Blitzkrieg. And that's like I believe it's a tactic used in war or military to kind of unarm or catch your opponent off guard. So it's kind of like just literally all guns blazing. We're sending in the tanks, we're sending in our full force. And that's what it takes to kind of tear down the armor or get them to be on, I guess, the defense, you know? So I guess men feel like they have to be on their offense when it comes to you. And that's kind of, it's attractive for them because I feel like more than Group 1 and Group 2, you're the group where men have to chase you. Because you may not want a man, care for men, or just want to deal with them and their BS. You kind of like walk away from them, and that makes them want more, if you will. You don't chase them, they have to chase you. You may not even be interested at all, is the kind of vibe that I'm getting. So you guys are giving like a little bit of a standoffish vibe when it comes to, I guess, men. Not even standoffish, just cool, calm, and collected. You're not feeding over them, but they're definitely feeding over you, okay? Because there's this thing about you bringing them to their knees with this strength card coming through here. She's taming these beasts here. And it's usually only a lion in the strength card. Here we have a wolf trying to get her attention too. Look at that. She literally has the lion eating out of the palm of her hands, touching up on her. And then she has this wolf like, hey, what about me? So you literally bring out the baser, as I say that, instincts in them with the Ace of Wands coming through here. You bring out the baser instincts because you keep your guard up here because we have the Seven of Wands. Interesting. That's your reading. That's it. You play hard to get or you don't want to be acquired. I'm hearing Princess Jasmine. I'm not a prize to be won because you're very comfortable on your own. Look at that. Exactly. Yo, the cards are just speaking for themselves today, huh? We have the Queen of Pentacles and then we have the Nine of Pentacles. Like, I can take care of myself. I don't need you. Like, I'm hearing that song from Ed Sheeran. You need me, man. I don't need you. Like, you need me. I don't need you. That's the kind of thing. And it's kind of taking me to how one of my good friends, we were hanging out like during the summer because they would have like this salsa every Friday, like salsa night where you could just come and dance and just like, you know, release your inhibitions, feel around your skin. Let me stop. But you could release your inhibitions, right? And we would go there, we would hang out, and we were talking about like, I guess we were talking about like just men in general and like how women are the prize essentially, because it's said that men who are married or have wives live longer than men who are single. Therefore, women are the overall end game. Women need men who are going to be bringing something to the table because in the long run, we provide more. We help men live longer. Men don't help us live longer. And I'm like, girl, look at you speaking facts. And she's also like studying to become like a librarian. So she's full of facts and knowledge and stuff like that. But she definitely gave me a different perspective. I always knew women were the prize, honestly, because we are the ones without our intuition. Without that, men would be lost. Without our wombs, men would be lost. Without women, the world would be like, I don't even want to know what the world would be a million times worse off than it is right now. It's the women that are fighting in the spiritual realm, in the real realm, who are still raising kids right. Like, there are bad women, just like there are bad men, just like there are good men, you know? But I feel like women really, like, I don't know, add a little something extra. So like I said, it's statistically proven, she said, that men who marry live longer. Because I guess having a wife there makes your life a little easier. Or, of course, women love to take care of and nurture. You know what I mean? But these men these days don't really have nothing to bring to the table. If you're a man watching, I apologize. But I can't lie that it's not true. Women can provide for themselves 10 times over in today's day and age. We don't need men. We may want them or, would like to have one, but we don't need them. The fact that you don't need these men that are like vying for your attention or chasing behind you is what makes them want you even more. It's the whole abscess makes the heart grow fonder vibe. So women's lifespan are not elongated or, longer because of men in it. It's actually, I don't know if it's shorter. I don't know if she said all that. But when women are married, when we're married to women, maybe. When men are married to women, their lifespan is longer, okay? Just like people who have sisters live longer and are happier. Because women just provide a little something, a little je ne sais quoi. You know what I mean? And men just, they there. You know what I mean? Especially now that women have the providing, like, conquering thing down. What are y'all there for? Like, something like, honestly, let's be real. You know what I mean? So I think the fact that you're on your own, right, and you don't need them, they want you even more, okay? You're hard to acquire. Now let's get into this reading for real. And you bring a lot to the table is what I heard. Yuck. Not yuck at you, but I hate that saying, what do you bring to the table? A lot more than you do, no matter how much money you make, sir. Okay? I can literally create life. That's it. What can you do? Shoot. Anyway, y'all turning me into a man hater on this episode here. Let me stop. Don't do that. I appreciate them for what they, are, but sometimes it's just like, I'm hearing a he-man and woman hater. There's something here about y'all may not like men, period. Some of you may just like girls or something. And it's funny how I was like, if you guys are here watching for women or non-binary, just switch and flip the switch, flip the script, make it fit, So I'm kind of getting that vibe here. Maybe you just really just don't like men or you've had really bad experiences, and I don't blame you. But what makes someone to fall to the end of the earth is the fact that they'll have to keep groveling even when they get to the end of the earth, you know? Let's see if anything else is coming through for my group threes, please, Spirit, my group threes. We have the Six of Cups. There's a sense of, like, I don't know, I'm hearing like camaraderie, or you being cordial to them, being nice. The Six of Cups is very much nice. It's giving friend. So maybe friend zoning. It's giving comfortability. It's giving childhood. So maybe you make them feel like a child again, or you make them feel insecure and unsure of the world. And that's something that men, I don't know. It's funny because right before I started this reading, I saw a post on, I think it was Facebook, where the lady was like, she's an Uber driver, and she was like, why did this guy tip me $100? Because I cussed him out and told him to sit his behind in the back seat and not try to come sit up front with me. Like, you know, if a man was driving the car, you wouldn't have had the balls to come try to sit up front. She's like, if you don't take your behind to the back of the car, right? And he's like, he gave her $100 or tipped her $100 because he likes mean women. And that just tickled me pink, okay? Because that was a little bit of the focal point of one of the groups, you know? So if you felt called to another group, go ahead and watch it. But being mean, you know what I mean? It was also taking me to the, another group was taking me to the trend where men post, like, if you see me being cussed out by a 5'3" Hispanic woman or a 5'3" Punjabi woman, I'm happy, leave me alone, don't intervene, I'm happy where I am. And it's kind of like, you know, women who are there telling you, eat your greens, do this, do that, and when you don't, they're holding you accountable. That's something that men really, I guess, that turns their, you know, attraction dial up when it comes to you, you know? And that could kind of be the Six of Cups if you think about it in the way of childhood. What do men, who do they rely on when they're children? Their mother. So you could remind them of their mother or something. I don't know. You know what's kind of giving me? Yuck. There was this, like, I don't know if it was a theory or something that somebody just said, but it's like men who grow up in a single parent household, mainly a single mother household, expect their future girlfriends, wives, whatever, to like dote on them the way their mother did, to do everything, to struggle essentially the way their mother struggled. That's what they want to see, especially when it comes to, I guess, Black women, because it's mostly Black women out here that struggling as single moms. Let's be real, you know what I mean? There are other races and, you know, ethnic groups that struggle as well, but mostly Black men, when it comes to their single Black mothers, she's doing everything. She's cooking, cleaning, nurturing, teaching him how to do stuff, giving him money. And most men grow up expecting their girlfriend and wife to struggle the same way their mom did. So he would not provide for her in that way because he didn't grow up seeing a woman being provided for, living a soft life. And I was like, I rebuke it in the name of the Lord, okay? In the name of Jesus, okay? You will never see me out here doing that. And that could be something coming through for you guys. You could be ambitious or remind them of their mother, whether she was a single mother or not. It could be a good, in a good way, or it could be in a bad way. Like I said, they expect you to do all the things your mom did. They want to see you struggle and fight for your life because that's the woman, I guess, what they saw growing up. And it's like, it's a no for me, dog. You know, for you is what you're kind of saying. This is funny. But yeah, that's what I'm kind of getting, that vibe of that theory is coming through in this reading for whatever reason. So I guess you could have dealt with some trash men that had you thinking that, oh, okay, my mom struggled, so therefore my future spouse or partner must struggle as well. I should not provide for her. I should not make her feel safe in any way because I'm used to watching my mom do everything. I don't want to, like, grow up, essentially. So you make them, like, I don't know, childish in a way, or revert back to childhood. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I really don't know. Let's keep going. There's something here about you being kind, or them wanting to be kind to you could be coming through as well. Ooh, my group threes, please, Spirit. My group threes. How do they lead men to their doom, please? We have the World. Okay, yeah. I think you show them a version of life they never really considered. You could be someone who's very successful, very accomplished, because the World represents accomplishments, reaching the end of something and seeing it through and getting rewarded for, you know, sticking beside something, you know. And then like you're showing them some, okay, you know what I'm hearing? You could be showing them something they didn't experience as a child. And now it's something they want to experience. They want to experience a woman in her soft era. They want to experience her not struggling and fighting for every breath. So while some of you are attracting those, debased and just triggered and unhealed, trauma-ridden men, others of you are experiencing men are running after you because you show them a little piece of life they haven't experienced. A woman being in her soft girl era while also not even wanting a man, even though she is in her soft, very feminine, girly era. You're still like, I'm good on my own, It's protecting your peace. There's a peace about you because Six of Cups can represent that. You know what I mean? Or maybe there's a carefree energy you bring out of them that they haven't experienced since they were young. And that's something you give them. You know what I mean? Maybe you're kind of quirky. Maybe you teach them as well, because this lady here is kind of giving me the quirky teacher who comes to school and like wears like outfits that, appeal to kids. So you could be like you could be a teacher, and that's something that really turns them on as well, that you're shaping the minds of our future, of the future generation, that you're just good with kids could be a thing as well. And that's something they really like. You're good with kids. Yeah, there's a softness coming from you. Very overtly feminine vibe, like where you don't lift a finger, you know what I mean? Like I said, you could be that's crazy. You could experience men who come from broken homes, and you men have come from a broken home, so you know what to, like, how you want to be treated. And these men who are like, oh my gosh, I've never had a woman like act like this, because they could have experienced their mom also running behind these trash men, and their mom, dealing with or accepting certain kinds of behaviors that they thought they would be able to get away with. But when it comes to you, you're like, oh, funny, right? Shoot, I wish you would. Try to play in my face. Is the vibe you're coming through as. They're kind of like, oh, wow, I gotta, proceed with caution when it comes to this one here, because she's not gonna, my usual tactics to get women are not gonna work with this one here. You know what I mean? Here we have Two of Cups. Wow, what the hell? That's crazy. These cards, well, two of them anyway, came out in group 2. Okay, so we have the 10 of Swords. Yeah, because you break them down. Oh, this is funny. You break them down so they this is giving the phoenix rising from the ashes. The 10 of Swords is the freaking the most pain you can experience before you finally had enough. And then it's kind of like, okay, I either, move on and change, or I stay in this painful energy, We have 2 cards representing the end coming through here. So that is something here about maybe ending toxic cycles. The world is the end of a cycle, a big, huge, major cycle in your life, because it's major arcana. And then we have the 10 of Swords, which is a painful ending, Either way, we're coming through with endings here, So like I said, leaving them behind, leaving them hurting, feeling backstabbed, maybe like, untethered, feeling unsafe. Because why are they, people are crazy. These men coming through your reading are pissing me off. Because how dare you think that you're supposed to be feeling some kind of way because you're with a woman? Like, it's not her job to make you feel safe if you're not making her feel safe. What you mean, sir? So, don't stop, okay? But it's kind of giving me that, where there's something here about you having them experience endings. Whether they're painful or not, there's something here about they experience like very painful like epiphanies when they're with you, and that's something they like, because they could be someone, what this could be giving as well? This could be men who are addicted to pain and trauma bonding, and they kind of want to do that with you, but you're not having it, because you're like, even if you have gone through lots of trauma, you're someone who's evolved. And they could still be stuck in this 10 of Swords energy. You make them feel less than or belittled. You see what I'm saying here? This is some iffy kind of stuff. And that's nothing to do with you, group 3s. I don't think I'm saying that in any way, shape, or form to make you feel bad. But it's kind of like you be attracting broken men, for the most part, from what I'm seeing so far, And because you eclipsed that with the World card, that's a successful ending, the World card. The 10 of Swords is a painful ending. It's 2 different things here. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like you make them feel like they're like beneath your shoe. And some men like that. And some women like making men feel that way. So I don't know who's watching, but take what resonates for you, child. You know what I mean? But that's kind of coming through. There could be something here about vulnerabilities, backstabbing, mean words. You know, there's some men who like to be, you know, well, I heard concussed. Please stop. No. Oh my goodness gracious. This person, I mean, Ten of Swords is kind of giving like a very, you could have, you or them, take what resonates, could have like a high pain tolerance, like a pain threshold. And look at these 10 swords sitting on this person here, and they still alive, and she's literally like chilling. Yo, you could have a high pain tolerance, and these men like that. If there's someone who likes to, you know, elicit pain, they like to give pain out, you like to receive pain, it's kind of giving not many people like that. You know, there's only specific people who will let you be your, you know, freakiest freak and slap you up, and you're still coming back for more. Yeah. Okay, freaky D's, y'all freaks, freakaleaks. Anywho, that's kind of what I'm getting here as well. Because even though she has 10 swords sticking out of her, she still looks at peace, does she not? Her eyes are closed and she's sleeping. So you have a high pain tolerance, and that's something that I guess makes someone keep coming back for more, child. Interesting. Yeah, you could be giving out the pain, or you like to receive the pain. Like I said, take a resonance feed. You'll know more than me. I'm just saying whatever comes through. So you're good with kids. You could be someone who's very accomplished, and that makes men like want to, you know more about you. The world is also kind of giving all the fixed signs. You could be someone who's very stubborn, which could be leading to you being the top in certain situations, and them kind of like groveling and crawling to earn you. Oh my gosh, please, I can't. Okay. Or the opposite, right? You're someone who's very accomplished, but you like to be dominated in some kind of way, you know? Either way, shoot, I'm here for all of it, child. Anywho, the next card we have here is the Two of Cups, okay? The Two of Cups. Yeah, there's something here about mirroring. So I don't know if y'all like slapping up each other and that's what's coming through here. But the Two of Cups is giving me two people who are different. You know, they're autonomous. They belong to themselves. But there's something here about them mirroring each other. So you could have like I said, trauma bonding could be a thing that happens. You guys have a lot in common when it comes to some of the things you've been through in childhood or something like that. Or this person just like, you know, when you like someone a lot, you kind of mirror them and start doing the things that they do. That could be coming through as well. Maybe drinking could be something as well. You could hold your liquor. You just like drinking, you're a good time, you know, getting drunk could be something you guys do together. You and men, you know, or maybe you just go out and have a really good time, and men like that. I mean, you can, you know, just release your inhibitions, literally, like I was saying earlier. Okay. Then we have the Three of Pentacles. There's something here about work for you guys. Your work is what, like, I don't know, holds, maybe you're superior to them. Maybe you're a superior, or you have a high position at work, or people like you're really respected at work, and that's something they find very attractive as well, especially if they work with you and see all that, how everybody loves you. You know what I mean? Because Three of Pentacles is like working well with others. So you know, it's kind of giving the opposite of what I was saying earlier, where you like to be told what to do or tell people what to do. The Three of Pentacles is kind of like, oh, hey, we're all in this together. We're all in this together. That kind of thing. So that could be something when people are going through struggles, you say, hey, instead of you working on this by yourself, how about you find people to help you work on it together, you know? So friend vibes, you're a good friend, could be coming through as well. Or even if they can't be in your life as a romantic partner, they do just enjoy being in your life as a friend. And that did come through in another group. So you could be from another group or feel called to another one, okay? Wink, wink, shove, shove. It's the same group where these two cards came out, obviously, because the same meaning is coming through, okay? You could be good with your hands, good with building stuff. You could be very artistic because they're building a structure, and then this one's painting it, this one's measuring it, this one's actually putting the pieces into place. So it's kind of like a building blocks, okay? So something you've built could be coming through. You're just good at math. Engineering could be coming through as well. They build stuff, right? Engineering, math, science, stuff like that. Solving problems could also be a thing as well. Like I said, they come to you with a problem and you say, hey, instead of trying to figure it out by yourself, why don't you recruit some friends to help you, you know? So you're good at giving advice as well, or helping them come up with the solution to a problem solving, okay? Anything else am I getting from these cards? I don't think so. Let's move on to this one here. Please, Spirit, for my group 3s. How are we at 24 minutes already? Jeez. Group 3, please. We have the 4 of Pentacles. The repeating cards are crazy, always. We have the Emperor. This came through another group as well. Okay, so you could be very bossy. Okay, very commanding. You could like to scream. The Emperor in this deck had to do with like a volcano erupting behind the Emperor. That could be something coming through as well. You're kind of like a silent bomb, you know, silent killer is kind of, oh my gosh. Why am I hearing this is the skin of a killer Bella? No! Unhand me, Twilight references. They haven't come through in a minute, but that's what's coming through. This is the skin of a killer Bella. So you could be someone who has killer instincts when it comes to things, people. Lordy. Group 3, please, for their Siren's call. How do they lead men to their doom? We have the 9 of Wands. Yeah, very straightforward, very ambitious, very lively. You could be very active. You work out a lot. That could be something coming through for some of you. We have the 6 of Pentacles coming through. You're very fair, very just, very balanced, very charitable. You like to help people. And that's kind of what I was getting with the 6 of Cups over here. You're very peaceful and kind. You know what I mean? Or you'd like to keep your peace. Keep the peace. Very stable, grounded. It's giving nurturer vibes, okay? So a taker, carer of her. Okay. 4 of Pentacles. You could be very possessive. This is the first time that's coming through. You could be very possessive. You don't like to share. It's giving bratty. This is mine. Stomping of feet. Stuff like that. Temper tantrums. Okay, look at y'all. But I think, I know I missed something. Okay, so with the World, all the fixed signs are coming through. So we have Taurus. Tauruses are very sensual. I'm seeing sensual lips. You could have a nice throat as well. This could lead to hands around throats, and that could be something that men like to do with you that they can't really find anywhere else. You know what's funny? I was watching a video on Instagram the other day where a guy was like explaining the different levels of choking a woman. YouTube, please relax. Okay, the word is fine. Okay. And he was like, explaining the different levels that women like. 1 is like just holding it. 2 is like squeezing it a little bit. And then 3 is completely like, where she can't breathe no more and she pass out. And that could be the vibe. With, I said, the 10 of, swords. Your pain tolerance threshold is high. And that's something that not many people can say. And that could be because of pain you experienced as a child. And you guys are kind of like, not battling it out, but like exercising those things in the bedroom. You know what I mean? Very interesting. Anyway, so the sensuous, the lips is coming through for Taurus coming through, okay? We have Aquarius coming through. So there's something here that they can't find anywhere else. There's something uniquely you. Okay, and it could be this dynamic that is coming through here with you guys, right? It's not giving BDSM, but it's giving kinky in some kind of way. Okay, and then we have Leo, which kind of came through the strength cards. You are very strong. You've been through a lot. That could be something, but you're still kicking. You still overcome it. You're still successful, right? And then what's after that? Scorpio, which is very intense emotionally, which could be this very possessive kind of energy coming through here, right? Which, like I was saying, kids, mine, that kind of thing. The 9 of Wands, fiery energy is definitely like, I've been thinking of the Knights as like explorers, where they're trying to explore and take as much land as they possibly can, overly ambitious. That could be something, or you just like a lot of stuff. I like to think of the Knight of Wands as someone who's spoiled. So you guys could be spoiled, okay? And that's something that they like spoiling you, or they like that you like to spoil yourself, period. Okay. And then the Emperor's Aries energy, which is like a very aggressive, very masculine, very large and in charge kind of energy as well. So you guys could definitely teeter and totter from being the dominant to being the submissive. So you could be giving a switch, okay? There we go. Now let's get into these last final cards. We're going to start with the Fairy Oracle and see what else is coming through. Can we have some confirmations? Because that's what these act as, a confirmation. This is funny. This is at the bottom of the deck and it ended up flying out. We have Dream On. Dream On. She looks a little, don't she look a little mischievous here on this card here? Like she's plotting something. She does also look kind of, you know, not evil, but, you know, not the nicest. She's giving me the teacher, not the teacher, the next door neighbor from Powerpuff Girls, when there was that episode where the professor was being seduced by the mean lady next door, and everyone could see she wasn't ish, even the girls, but he couldn't because he was blinded by the lust because she was mad attractive. And I think, did she have her own kids or no? She was just mean to the kids but nice to him. That could be something coming through. You can be mean to everyone else, but just nice to them. That is, I like that in a man, I feel like. But this is not about me. This is about why men are, you're their siren, essentially. They're willing to do anything for you, even, you know, walk or sail to their doom. That's coming through. But she is definitely giving me the mean lady next door from the, yeah, it was her next door who had like, I'm trying to remember if it was her or someone else. There was a family next door as well that also had kids, and it was a wife and a husband, but they were evil. And the Powerpuff Girls, like, you know, beat them up sometimes. I don't know. So maybe you are giving villain, okay? Let's leave it at that. Here we have say it aloud. So you're very outspoken, okay, about what you want. But look at how come hither she's looking. Come on. You could have really long hair as well because her hair is coming all the way down to the water. So look, these two are completely different vibes. Y'all think y'all slick out here, y'all ain't. Y'all not. Look at these two people compared to each other. She's giving, oh yeah, she's plotting something, and she's giving, I'm sad and all wistful and oh my gosh, woe is me kind of energy. Get out. Okay, and then here we have Mind Your Own. This came through in another reading as well. In this same reading. In another pile, I should say. Another group. Mind Your Own. This is definitely giving you care very deeply about the people who are close to you. And if that end up being the men you're with, that will, of course, include them. And that's something that they really like. Now, let's end off or finish off with this Mermaid Oracle. Because mermaids and sirens are always, like, interchangeably mixed up. And mermaids are not sirens. Okay. Wow, that's a big clunk. Y'all heard that? Okay. Here we have a sense of place, so they feel safe. Yeah, that's what I was getting at the beginning of the reading, like I was saying with the whole mother energy. Okay. You give them a sense of place, a sense of home, a sense of safety, of belonging, especially if they're into some things. And not everybody will be reciprocal, you know, or open, or is it reciprocal? Whatever. Everyone's not going to be open to that energy, but you kind of are. So it's like finding a, what do they call it? Not diamond in the rough, but like finding something that's rare, a pearl in a shell, whatever you want to call it, okay? Here we have wanderlust, so you like to explore and explore new things. It could be in the bedroom, okay? That keeps coming through. So they're very attracted to the things you give them in the bedroom, okay? And then here we have seize the day. So maybe you're willing to try anything once, wanderlust and seize the day. Maybe you're not scared of monsters. This here is kind of giving Beauty and the Beast, is it not? We have this beast sneaking up behind her and she's not scared in the least. Period. And that's like coming back to the strength card that came out in the beginning of the reading where you tame their beast. They just want to purr and get petted by you. But in the outside world of this big mean old beast, but with you, they're like not. How cute. Yeah, you're this rare jewel. That's what I guess I was trying to say. Something that's rare they can't find every dynasty. Oh, I wish Mulan would unhand me. I wish she would. I wish the movie quotes would, okay? But that's what I'm getting for you guys. That's all that I have for y'all, honestly, I think. wanderlust. So lust for life, for experiences. I think a big part of it is the things you buy yourself. You have like a very lavish life, or you like to buy expensive things for yourself. And that's something they find very attractive. It's kind of giving like, you know, princess, queen of the castle kind of energy. Whatever I get, I want, you know. I'm kind of getting a little bit of like an Ariana Grande vibe from you guys, where she's very much like, I don't want to say self-focused, but self-involved. What, like, even that one song she made, I see it, I like it, I want it, and I got it. You know what I mean? She's very much like, if I want something, I don't care if it hurts someone else. Allegedly. I don't care if it hurts someone else, I'm going to get it. That kind of energy coming through, okay? So I'm going to leave the reading here. I hope it resonated. If it did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, join the tribe. We'd love to have you. If you would ever like to book a personal reading with me, you could always get in contact with me using my email in the description box below. I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day whenever you're watching this reading. And as always, I will see you gorgeous people in the next one. Mwah. Bye.